Previously on Test C Teams. In the distance, Coriander's proud bow is there, and there is almost like a crystalline structure being made out of Daughters of Maleth.
Can you search for the Sangolith inside you?
Ooh, good idea.
Placid reservoir of power is just a thought away.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I say it seems that the pact is intact.
You feel pain in your right palm. And as you look down, you can see that the fingernail of your pinky is now a 2-inch spur of amethyst.
No, we have to stop it. Cut it off. Cut it off.
Not even given time to chit-chat. Just go.
I think the adversary's work is nearly done. I think it is lying to us about how much home is left for us to save. He says,
what if she's right?
He says, if she is right, we will still have done what we set out to do. And when it comes for someone else's home,
she's pulling every single shadow she's noticed from the corners of this weird ship. The shadow just shoots out and rebuilds this ship. It has elements of the cart that she and her family have been traveling in for so many years. So this ostentatious cart that she
professes to hate.
Gothic cart. And it's dope as hell.
Time is the enemy, the past, it threatens the fastest weapon. You wouldn't make it past a second, and that's the question. Play it brash and reckless, or choose a cautious solution you thought was prudent. In any sepulcher, pulchritude will become the putrid. It's that wealth that I'm pursuing. No mountain too steep or dungeon too deep to send expendable marks up to the top of the peak or beneath. They see you bleed, they come like sharks to it, while I swim in that money bin like Carl Barks drew it. So send your national parks druid, I'll send them home in a natural box with a closed top and most of the parts included. Save your breath for a cleric confessor. Death is a lesson and life is a tenured professor. But if you're seeking my official advice, sign on the dotted line and initial it twice.
Okay, that was novel. I am Tycho Brahe of Penny Arcade and PAX.
What?
Am I on it?
There you are.
Okay, I was like, no, I think that's right, aren't I? Who am I? I'm Tycho Brahe of Penny Arcade and PAX. I'm also Manifest Herodron, CEO of Acquisitions Incorporated. But today, I'm Jeremy K. Horcrux, your internet friend. And I'm here to play a game of Dungeons & Dragons with my friends, specifically these friends. To my right, Dragonborn Narcissist, Dinaar Blitz N.
Woo! He's here to contribute this week. Finally. Nice! Got him!
That should actually be happening in 2 separate windows. We did it on each side. That clears us up forever.
Nice.
To the right of my right, repping the natural world, Walnut, Dawn, Grass, Kakra.
Kakra.
Triumphant return.
Finally back! Oh, it was miserable.
I know.
It was surprisingly
It
painful.
was so bad.
Thank you. That means a lot.
welcome,
I'm glad y'all were
Oh,
miserable.
dude, look at these. See? You see those?
Look at these crawls.
Look at that.
I feel very validated.
Come
and seen.
motherfucking crawl, though. Now, to my left, not your grandma's grandma. Except in those rare cases where she is your grandma's grandma, Rosie Beestinger.
Whoa, Ryan's popping out.
Whoa,
How'd you get in there, little friend?
what a cool image.
Get back.
What a cool thing to think about
That's
in the
fine.
night.
That's fine.
To the left of my left, emerging as though from a mist shroud, Kafris Drow.
Oh, it's
Look at
me
these,
and
look
Brian.
at these friends. Oh, Brian.
And extra.
Somehow he's been incorporated.
Yeah,
If you do the original meaning of
I know
that,
it
it
is.
really takes on a turn.
I've always known.
Did do. So somehow I've always known. Now, obviously, lots to manage, lots to get to. But now, because the Shadow Chancellor is back in the United States, It's like her power was attenuated when she was in Australia.
Hardly.
But to me. And now, because she'd like skip around and it like diffused her power somewhat. But now with this rich Wi-Fi, so smooth, I know that I'm in real danger if I don't do absolutely everything that it says to do on this sheet. Of course, and more of you know than ever, that we have a partnership with Idle Champions. Within Idle Champions, people undertake Omen's Quest. I know because I saw it on your screen, so don't even try. Those who complete my quest have an opportunity to vote on whether or not the very first cauldron tip of the game will be good or bad. As Kate 6E Welch has suggested, it really should be wheel and woe. I mean, honestly...
Yeah, get on it, Idle Champs.
And they know that too. I'll talk to them about it. But basically, what that means is not only do they get to determine the polarity, morality-wise of the first tip, but also people who play that quest, every time they complete my challenges, they fill up the cauldron. Should we find out how much? Let's see.
Let's do it. 69.
Oh, big
Whoa,
money.
Big
Whoa.
money this week. Whoa.
Love
that little
yeah,
extra.
it's kind of wild. So, first cauldron tip, gonna be a good one. Positive polarity.
Nice.
Thanks to your
Cowards.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks to your time investment. Of course, I'm well pleased. Even my guys as Omen, I'm well pleased. And we'll see how that turns out for the party
Yummy.
later. Now, when last we saw our heroes,
What happened?
our space heroes, a few noteworthy things did occur. Let's go down through it. There was an extended montage-esque escapade where Sorrel Tomenook, sister of Rosie Beestinger, managed to drag Rosie all over what my people call Hell's Half Acre to avoid telling their father some bad news. That bad news is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's pretty bad. The implication is that the Homeward Star is actually much, much, much worse off than we can tell from where we are right now. They're looking out at this constellation. It looks like it's there. It's an attenuation. It's like it's an astronomical thing. Essentially, from where we are, it looks like those things are still there. But if you were to actually be where those things are, most of it is gone. There is one planet left to save in this bizarre quest that the Beestingers have taken on. There are very, very, very few Beestingers left.
Yeah, especially after the space explosion.
Yes. And when presented with this information, Papa, Admiral, Erebus Beestinger.
Admiral Papa.
Admiral Papa, Erebus Beestinger. The Dadmiral, if you will, has...
Shadow Council came up with that one.
He seemed more or less unfazed. He thinks it's either a lie. But at the end of the day, his purpose is such that if they don't accomplish this, if they're not able to stop what they call the adversary and what the party and indeed the Shadow Council calls the Sangolith, it's just going to do it again to somebody else's family. Mm-hmm. So it's worth it. It's worth it. Let's see. Dinaar sustained a profound amount of abdominal damage.
Yeah, you missed on that.
What happened?
That's pretty great.
Well, he entered into a combat test arena.
Let's be fair. A halfling told him to walk through a door, and he did it.
Yeah, he's like the half. He's like, why don't you check this out?
Yeah.
There was no other
There's no
context.
reason.
Yeah.
He sustained 42 points of damage in one series of attacks.
Oh, but so that's why he turned into a can of potatoes.
Exactly.
That's what happens.
So this is essentially he's a can of potatoes like while he is dormant. And then, of course, he will unfold.
Oh, for the podcast, there is just a can of potatoes next to me.
Oh, yeah, you guys should
With a
know.
hat on it.
Yeah, 76. Go 76ers.
Go 76.
Now, you're telling me that this is not an Overwatch hat?
It's
No.
not Soldier 76. Isn't that wild?
I know, it should be.
With these colors.
Soldier 76 is just a big.
The numbers.
76 fan.
With these colors, numbers, this is a ball thing?
Could be both.
Maybe. Maybe that's the derivation. In any case, let's jump right back into it. Now, we had suggested before, in any case, Brahma had told the party that her connection with Maleth is such, ma-elite, as they say. Her connection with Maleth is such that she is able to speak for her from time to time. And what she told the party was that, what was that?
It's a good way.
So badass.
Oh, I'm the biggest Brahma fan there is. Making Brahma bad for a year was very challenging for me. Essentially, there is a cost associated with reincarnation.
As there should be.
And that cost is paid by the person who is making their request. And so in the period of time where Walnut enters a kind of dark dream, these are the things that are revealed to her in her vision. So we'll just play it.
Yes. Oh, I'm so
Settle in.
glad we're playing this out.
Yeah. I think it's important to do that. I think that people like that, and whenever possible, I like to try to maintain. Sometimes it's tough, like with the live show games, like scheduling, like what happens when. But I think it's important to account for as much time as we can, I guess. And then I can tip this cauldron, and it'll be good times. So you are standing on the deck of the ship, and you are looking down at yourself, engaging in holy ministrations over your friend Kithris, who at this point is loved by you, but the physical thing that represents him is not what it was.
It's like an accordion that someone just punched a hole through.
Yeah, it's a
Thank you for that imagery.
it's a sick accordion,
Yes.
essentially. It is lace. There's almost nothing left. It's become abstract. And as the spell is completed, time seems to freeze. And you can hear Maleth say, "We honor reincarnation even over resurrection. Our belief is that you must re-enter the wheel and accept the life you're given with humility and service." And she says, "Are you ready to pay the price, daughter?"
Yes, I am.
In that moment, you become Kithris. So
Sorry.
you stand up and you see events play out differently than they did. You know consciously at some level that Kithris chose the body that had been made for them by Maleth.
Yes.
But this form is now looking over at this perfect form
Whoa.
as though the spirit had entered the old body. So if things had not gone the way that you had arranged them, this is what occurs. So imagine
Paint me that word picture.
in the very center, just imagine a dark pearl in the very center of your being. And then imagine it erupting, the end result being something like an urchin, which is fit for our purpose because it has the purple tinge already. We're ready to go. Black, purple. And then as these spines erupt out, they pierce directly through your friends and allies. And then as those spears pierce them, they too erupt like urchins.
Whoa.
And it goes in a chain like this, a single hair-thin thread erupting from Brahma's skull, reaching out to the daughters of Maleth, makes contact. 100 of them die in a second. These spurs fire their way toward the Library Militarum. And then deck by deck, dimensional membrane by dimensional membrane, these things erupt as well. Josh, if you'd be so kind.
This is OP.
Yeah, a little bit.
So in the timeless, the timeless space here, it's like in the same way that like a bird might be obsessed with a piece of string or maybe a piece of beach glass that it thinks will serve it well in its romantic campaign. These fine needles of the Sanguilith distribute themselves throughout the multiverse. And when they begin to fall on Toril, one of these finds its way into the Crypt Garden Forest, where Nalayan has built a new throne.
Woof.
And as it sails down, she leaps up from her throne, becoming a massive owl, snowy white, catches it in her beak, takes this instrument with her to a tiered city not far from the center of the Crypt Garden Forest on the eastern peaks of the Sword Mountains, the city known as Dinaar. And as she drops this needle, it wavers in the air like a compass needle almost, finding its perfect balance point. And when it lands at the gate, what comes up from beneath the ground is the size of the city itself.
What?
You see what must be the wandering crypt out from the ground, birthed from the soil. And you see it reach massive legs, 3 in the front, 3 in the back, arranged into semicircles. And you see it begin to careen through the city of Dinaar toward the castle. Thank you so much, Josh.
Jeez Louise.
And when you awake, Brahma is there, standing in front of you. You see her back, and you see Foremother hanging from her right hand. You're in something like a. It's just a sort of nondescript place of rest. It's very. This is nothing that would even approach the way that the Enclave would do it. The Enclave would approach this with less pragmatism.
Yes.
It would recognize that healing has a spiritual component. There is nothing like that on the library ship. You don't remember how you got here.
Okay.
But you don't feel as if you were in an unsafe place.
So I wake up, sweat everywhere, and everything's very bleary. And I just say, Brahma, what are you doing?
She turns to you and says, "Do you need your sword? Would that help?"
Yes.
And she puts she like sets the sword like on your lap and then raises her hands.
I like grab it and then just kind of hold it close and like let out what feels like a breath I've been holding in for hours. Like
She approaches the right side of the bed and brushes back your hair and shushes you.
I am shushed.
Actually, hold on.
Yeah.
Bwomp, bwomp, bwomp. I'm not even fucking, look at this.
Critical shushing.
Dude, we are talking about a critical shush scenario. You saw it here first. Bwomp, bwomp, bwomp. Shadow Council, Mayor Labors please you.
What do they win?
I was just gonna say
There's a beautiful.
I was just gonna say this beautiful. Oh boy!
I think it's quite Walnut.
I didn't even know they had this.
You should roll those to see how much shush damage.
Here,
Let's see.
dude,
God,
Nut,
those
take
are
a look
gorgeous.
at this set.
Put them in my
This is the
handbook.
Bloodstone set, right?
But I've never seen never seen this font.
The gold.
Like
in
it's
that
a
font.
hyper legible.
That's delicious.
so it has the
tasteful.
red. Bloodstone has a green.
Roll
Apparently.
the 20 and see what it gets. It's a 5, so cursed for
Well,
you.
anyway, obviously,
Only rolls 5s.
Mayor Labors please you. We'll be sending these out to you forthwith.
They're not for rolling, they're just for looking at.
Exactly.
They're not for rolling.
My gemstone set is like heirloom will be given to offspring.
Yeah, exactly.
Do not
It's
use
got to
it.
be.
Yeah.
It's got to be. So yeah, she is able to deliver maximum comfort. Somebody comes in at the wrong time, ostensibly to deliver some kind of payload. She recognizes instinctually it would ruin the moment, and they are sent away with a pointed finger.
Wherever Rosie is, she's also shushed. She doesn't know why.
Dude, the whole a cloak of shushedness just
Wait.
descends.
Cthulhu's is just like, okay. So Walnut looks up at Brahma and she says, she has like 1,000 things to say, but the only thing that comes out of her mouth is, it's good it happened like this.
What?
We almost faltered.
She says, do you mean Cthulhu?
Yes.
She says, Fars Malus said that we made the wrong choice.
Barsmanless doesn't know.
She's like, he's a god, but he's also Dinaar.
Well,
I mean, you do the math on that.
if the vessel says anything about the god, then yes.
Barsmios is the only one who hasn't been imprisoned by the Sangolith, too. So maybe he's just like, he doesn't understand.
he's not good
right?
enough.
Maybe he's not worth capturing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he's not worth capturing.
Bottom of the barrel.
She kisses your forehead and she says, it's a weird choice. It's just a weird choice.
Walnut just says, Cthulhu saved us all.
Yeah, and Brahma says, it seems like they're doing well. It seems like they're pretty much Cthulhu.
Everything's okay.
It's very Cthulhu.
Walnut,
If that's any consolation to you. If anything, they're more Cthulhu.
Walnut says,
And they look good.
are they happy?
They don't know it. They don't know how
They don't know they're beautiful.
they don't know how good, and it's gonna help.
The best, yeah.
But you'll see.
Walnut says, Cthulhu is okay.
I think if we were to ask Cthulhu, the answer would be very long. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's a good thing. that tracks.
Walnut lays back because she had a lot of worry over potentially trapping Cthulhu in a
Oh,
situation.
between these. Walnut's feeling was that it was like a decision was being made for
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
Like the idea of Walnut's feelings were telling Rosie, like, kill Cthulhu. I make the decision for you. I take away all
that
your
weight.
autonomy.
Right.
Even in your final moments of life, you have no choice. I kill you. I resurrect you. Like, Walnut had
Yeah.
all this guilt. So hearing that this is okay.
And then seeing
that's huge.
what the alternative
was.
that was in fact, if anything, like an endgame level plan
Yes.
to utilize that other form as a weapon.
So just knowing that they're okay is just, it's a lot for her to take in, and so she just kind of sits back and has like a quiet moment.
She says, "Are you good here for a sec?"
Yes.
She says, "I'm going to find out what they consider food."
That is good. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Maybe.
Walnut realizes how hungry she is. It feels like she's been asleep for 1,000 days.
She's like, "I'm going to bring something. I'm going to bring something that I see one of them eating."
Please.
Okay.
As soon as Brahma leaves, Walnut reaches into her pocket and just pulls out a really smushed up good berry. And just in case, she starts munching
sad.
on it.
Thank God I packed the snacks.
My trail mix. And it's just all good berries.
No, you reach into the pack and you feel just something soft, like soft and round, sort of dancing underneath your finger in the pack.
And Walnut goes, "Oh God!" And she opens the pack up.
It's like the 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie poem. It's like as soon as the lid of this thing is off, it's friends,
Keep in mind,
end to end.
Walnut wild shaped, and when she wild shapes, all of her stuff goes into her. So they were contained within her at one point.
Yeah, and it's something that these beasts have to make peace with. I mean, hopefully there's things that these creatures know that we don't.
Maybe it's soothing. Maybe it's nice.
But it's 4 and 20 blackbirds. Like, seizes the tail. It's kind of doing the thing where the snake, they go, like, they get a lot of height, as much height as they can, and then, like, it's too rigid, and then hits the edge, out.
Call your doctor.
Exploring it. Yeah, dude, yeah, exactly. If you experience bag snake,
For longer than 4 hours.
Walnut wonders how long it's been since she sees the tail, wonders how it hasn't eaten the birds.
no, dude, it eats good berries consistently.
Oh.
It's, I mean,
My
where they
vegan
go.
snake.
well, I was just I love that show.
Yeah, MTV, yeah.
It's MTV, but it's like that late 90s era.
Yeah.
My vegan snake, you can see like the text. There's a lot of vegan snakes, like they check in with them. Anyway, underneath it is, it's Truth that was underneath. And Truth has Goodberry in her beak. And she is like hopping up first on the edge of the bag, then on the edge of the bed, then onto your thigh, and then hopping all the way up your chest to drop the berry into the mouth.
I let her baby bird it to me, and somehow this is reassuring.
In an instant, like it's a whole berry, and then it is a slurry, and then it's just right in there.
Right in that craw. Just in case you can't chew.
Walnut goes, "Ugh." And then
Baby
swallows
bird
it.
back into Truth's mouth.
And then we just go back and forth forever.
And then just kind of pan out.
And that's
that
the end of
moment.
the sea theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We won.
That's the final one. Yeah, we won against berries.
That's how we defeat the Sanguilith.
That's it. I knew it.
Truth says, "Now, shall I feed you as a chick
Oh,
again?"
no. I am sustained. So sustained.
It is good.
Perhaps forever.
It is good.
Oh, it's so good.
It is
Think
good.
about
It
that,
is good
Walnut.
to have. It is good to have the food in this way.
Yes.
It is
better,
good. It is good for the chick.
better for you.
This is like a mom. This is the right way. You will be healthier.
Walnut goes, it sure is. She likes Truth. She doesn't want to let Truth down.
Right.
She
So
just goes,
Truth,
"Thank
hop,
you,
hop,
friend."
hop, hop down into the bag.
Oh no.
Yes. Yes.
Jeez.
Again.
What's Vizier doing?
Vizier is standing at the. There's sort of like a small curtain. Each of these things, we described it last time, but you weren't here, so I should emphasize it. Each of these little areas where people rest and recuperate is sort of independent. It's not like, obviously it's indoor, but they're sort of like small round tents tents that have privacy in them. It's
Okay,
just a
cool.
place that has a bunch of them in there. And so Vizier is basically like at the curtain, down on the ground, occasionally poking his head out and chirping. And we know that they don't chirp. Like, the truth is, I've done nothing but talk to Stellar's Jays like all weekend, like in real life.
They sound like pterodactyls.
It's nothing like a chirp
No,
at all.
it's a scream.
It sounds like a garbage truck,
It's fucked.
right? and that's what happens. It's like every now and then the head goes out with the tall sort of tufty hat, and there's a few warning barks to anyone who would come in.
Fantastic.
Dude, yes.
Walnut is, for once, set at ease.
Vizier's purpose is known.
It is known.
Seizes the tail, tries to make a break for the exit, and in a second, with practiced avian skill, Vizier just comes right on the middle of it, picks the whole thing up like a worm, and then deposits it on your belly, and then goes back down to protect. So there is a menagerie of friendly beasts.
I feel great.
The next berry doesn't quite get into the mouth. This one is more on the chin.
Bird just barfs on me.
Yeah.
I'm like, feels like home. And I wonder, do I need to go back to my life of adventuring? Or am I happy here, finally, in this place?
We just hang out.
And we won the C team.
The C team. If we're doing it right, the C team should end about every 10 minutes during this game.
Sure.
We'll find the optimal, ultimate closeout points for every character.
I'm just trying to wrap up these storylines.
Got to.
No,
You know what?
it's
Yeah,
like,
you can do that with like while you're eating, you're reminiscing and you're seeing the little flashback montage, and then that's what gives you that closure as a viewer.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't have to go anywhere else.
Nice.
It's like,
It's great, we're done.
yeah, that's it.
And the Wandering Crypt destroys everything. The end. Adieu.
Yeah, so what?
yeah.
Why wouldn't the land use the Sangolith to summon the Wandering Crypt to destroy Dinaar?
I don't know.
That's table talk, I guess, but
That might be a Dinaar question, but we don't know that yet.
Dinaar? Ryan?
Who's Ryan?
He doesn't know. For the podcast, Ryan, potato slice can Hartman, just shook his head
I
silently.
don't know. I don't even know how to play D&D. I'm just a little baby boy.
You're like, the hero's journey.
Well, that is him.
I love Naruto.
I'm transformed.
Ryan sucks,
Transformed?
you guys. I'm glad we all got there.
Podcast. All right. Podcast. But I think that this is also for the podcast. But someone has actually taped a microphone onto this can.
Just in case you have something to say.
Dehydrated. Yeah, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Anyway, Walnut getting barfed on by a bird.
Yeah, exactly. Walnut. I feel like Walnut is in a good place now.
What's happening with my friends?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's where we're going now.
Bye.
So we have lots of scenarios. Who wants to jump in?
I want to
Yeah.
know what's up with this one.
So but last time,
But unless we saw our heroes.
yeah, you were repairing the ship,
Yes.
which was unknown to.
Yeah, nobody else
Anybody.
Yeah.
understands that. But
Yeah.
but
we got a
it's
sick new coriander ship.
but it's vital. This is information that Walnut does not know, of course. But again, last time on Tessie teams, Rosie leveraged her grammamancy and her intimacy, shall we say, with Shadow
We shall.
to remember and then subsequently make real a new ship capable of sailing in these strange waters.
You can just make these suckers any old time.
Crank them out. This one was heavily inspired by the cart, rather unfortunately.
So would you call it ostentatious to a fault?
Incredibly ostentatious, but now we have a giant ship with these gothic fixtures and banisters and
Water feature?
a lot of pointless candles.
Greta.
Let's say
Yes.
that Cathris, because
I'm familiar with Cthulhu.
they were afraid of absorbing the contents of this book, because
But they closed it. And the book in question certainly for our friends new and old, there is no text of any kind on the spine of the book, nor, to the best of Cthulhu's knowledge, is there any text on the inside. There is simply a persistent, nagging sense that one is being constantly observed as they read it.
Right.
As they read nothing.
Wow.
Well, there's text inside the book.
No.
No, there's not. Okay.
Yeah. But that fear of being, or that sense of being watched, I'm concerned that that's the Sanguilith trying to peek at the secrets of this book, of how to hide from it.
Oh, we also sliced off Cthulhu's finger because they grew a Sanguilith fingernail.
Yeah, the new drow body immediately started growing Sanguilith
What happens when
again.
you cut off the finger? Did a new one grow back?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet, as far as we know. But
Fingers
So
on.
celebrate that.
they did
They
keep
had like a
it.
sweet little
I know. It was
Coke
dope.
nail.
Coke
Yeah.
coke
nail.
nail.
Exactly. That was the joke. Because Rosie grabbed them and said, "This is drugs. Is this drugs?"
Hey, you're gonna do a bump off of my god.
Oh, my dark lord.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do, actually.
So let's say then that I
Next time we won't cut it off then.
yeah, we'll get the next one. I got two of them. I'm gonna go see if I can find someone that I know, one of my compatriots, because to inform them about this book.
Who do you
And
want to talk
also, I mean, who do I think is nearest? Would it be Rosie? I think that Walnut is still convalescing. I don't know where Dinaar is.
Where's Dinaar?
Dinaar's asleep in the hallway, I guess.
You passed Dinaar in the hallway
Yeah.
before, and you have occasionally seen Dinaar since. You've walked by him, and generally speaking, he's just seemed very lost. But he's Dinaar, and so it's going to be like that for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, he's lost and very bloody. But you just smile and, that's him. I think I'll keep him. So yeah, are you still out there then?
Yeah.
By there? Yeah.
Yeah.
I will wander out for lack of anything else to do. I'm trying to find someone who could read to me, basically. See if there's anything that they can perceive. Because I'm afraid I'm going to skip to the wrong page and reveal something that the Sanguilith should know.
But the monster at the end of the book?
Yes, I'm afraid of Grover.
Yeah.
And I remain so. That's table talk. I'll save it. But
They made a sequel to this book.
how can you? They gave it away. They didn't leave anything open. All right.
That's IP.
Yeah. So if I approach as I go down this,
Anybody
central-
you want to.
Yeah. Let me take a peek out where you are.
Yeah, I'm sitting very placidly, very proud of myself, kind of on whatever would be the shipyard.
Yeah,
Edge
the interior
of this.
structure. Yeah,
Yeah.
so imagine, and again, so unless you're moving left and right, you can see into the central core of this. And as you go out to seek a companion that can, help you read through this and allay some of these fears, perhaps, you see a ship in the central core of this, of the library that was not there before. There was the shattered sort of bow that was there, but now there is a ship that has never existed before in any fanciful imagination.
But it's got familiar components, right?
Oh, no, absolutely. You recognize it.
As Coriander.
Yeah, I mean, you recognize
yeah.
it
Old friend.
right
I know
away,
I-
except it is gigantic.
Yeah. It's a matte black.
I was just going to say, imagine that you could, take the corner. Imagine that you could expand Coriander, but retain the ratio.
Yeah.
And that's basically what we're talking about here.
So not on the ship, but near it. Rosie, I'm sitting legs crossed with my staff across my lap, and I'm staring at the ship with this troubled look because it is it's doing too much. But I'm disappointed.
You had a moment of weakness.
I did.
And now you've made it permanent.
I was thinking about Coriander, and this popped out, but there's this frail little old lady form next to this massively over-designed sailing ship. I'm just kind of muttering to myself.
Wow.
Soaring into the depths of space.
Nobody would fuck this.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, there's just disappointment on my face as I'm sort of chewing over the details. Like, why did it come out like that? That's even worse than the
Okay, well, you
card.
feel a hand on your shoulder.
Oh,
And it's I'm wearing the Mask of Many Faces from the library, so it's classic Cthulhu.
classical Cthulhu.
But
Okay.
it's like more polished because I was trying to look nice for the.
That's right.
For the
guest?
Liberator. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
for the
Liberator.
Liberator.
Oh,
Trying
nice.
to impress her.
Right. And I say, Coriander, everybody's getting a new body.
Yeah, I'm still stuck with these old bones, but yeah, it seems like everybody else is having a good time.
Don't count it out.
I won't.
It's working out great.
You've gone back to Cthulhu's Classic, I see.
Oh, not on purpose. I was just trying to impress the librarian.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I'll dispel it.
Extremely on brand. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, new Cthulhu.
New Cthulhu, nothing from the waist down. Some kind of mail or plate.
Yeah,
Nice.
basically
From
the
the daughter's
studded
mail.
leather
Yeah.
breastplate.
You had Rosie's cloak
Oh, I do
around
have your
the
cloak
groin
still.
area. Yeah,
Do you want it back?
sure. Completely nonplussed, I take it and put it over my shoulders. I did it. I gesture to the ship. There she is.
That she will last slightly longer in the
just-
grinding maw of
Just
Sangolith.
could have been more practical, you know? And I noticed the book that you're holding, which I don't think is a familiar sight, even though you would be a book nerd if you could. But
Yeah, this book is in good shape.
okay.
not
But it has
old
no
book.
writing.
No,
on the outside.
the cover has a sort of like a gold leaf impression, emboss, is that the term, in
Sure.
leather?
Yeah.
Pressed into it of a single eye.
A letter I or
No,
eyeball?
an eyeball,
Okay.
like a single eye that is looking out at the reader.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That seems
And
very Cthulhu.
the binding says the psychology of silence.
Some light reading, I see. Does it say it in common or halfling?
It would be halfling in this case because
It
it's
could
from
be
the
Latin, but I
library.
can read it because it's language.
Yeah.
That's
I
true.
just
yeah.
can't hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I explained to you that I wanted to learn how the Tomnooks were able to hide from the Sangolith.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe we could use this, but when I open this, not only have I noticed, I haven't gone very deep in it, there's no writing in it,
Okay.
but I have the sense of being observed.
Okay.
And I'm concerned that I still have the pact with the Sangolith. And it is going to look through me and get the secrets.
I see.
So I need to find a workaround.
Well, crack it open. Let's see what I see. Sangolith ain't got shit on me.
True.
Okay. So I open it and I flip my eye patch down, but I'm looking at it through both eyes.
Yeah. So it's your left eye, as I recall, much like TLC.
TLC. obviously.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Wouldn't dare. Wouldn't dream of it.
It sees absolutely nothing. It sees a blank. It's almost like those like the red-blue
Yeah.
lenses where like one eye is seeing something that's plainly there, but just not through that lens.
Okay.
And the right eye, it's something like a treatise. It's a philosophical treatise on avoiding certain kinds of thoughts.
Oh.
So you can never, essentially it establishes that the danger, it's like, okay, we can hide ourselves, we can hide our vessels, we can hide our craft, we can hide our bodies from the Sangolith, but we cannot hide our consciousness.
Okay.
And so there can be nothing that comes back. When it seeks for us, there can be no recognition of it that comes back.
Oh, okay. All right. So
And you've noticed that there's other reasons why it might be, but whenever this topic comes up with Sorrel, and indeed any Tomnook, they try to change the subject very fast.
sure. Okay.
And it looks like they're mad, and it's not something they want to discuss. But you wonder if they're looking at the intro to this treatise. You wonder if they might not want to discuss it for another reason, that they
Right.
don't dwell on it for a tactical reason.
Okay. Once I identify that my Sangolith eye patch doesn't read it, I flip it back up onto my forehead, and I pat the ground next to me for Cthulhu to pull up for some story time.
Okay.
And I start to read. And I think once I get to the part where it becomes clear to me that it's the thoughts that have to be avoided.
Right, and even then, it's like as soon as you start to consider the nature of the text and like the duplicitous nature of what they're asking you to do, it's like they're telling you about a horse and they're saying, do not think about a horse.
Right.
That's the entire book.
Okay. Once I get to that part, once it becomes clear to me that this is all about avoiding certain thoughts, my voice kind of trails off and I start to scan the text silently instead. And I realize I have no idea how to communicate this to Cthulhu, because although I think he would be very, very hungry for this concept, it does seem like extremely counterproductive for Cthulhu. But I close the book at some point and I kind of pat it gamely and I say, have you ever had to avoid certain thoughts for your own good? Oh. Okay. It would seem that this is what the Tome Nooks have devised for the adversary. It's very much a thing of avoiding those thoughts, lest the adversary is able to spy on them. I think.
Is this a practical guide?
It does seem to be. Are you able to do that?
I would love to be able to do that. What if I am doing it now and I'm not aware that I'm doing it?
Well, then I suppose you're succeeding.
This is a great book.
5 stars.
This is a page turner. No, I ask you, did you get a sense of being observed, of watched while you read it?
None.
Yeah, it might be just me then. So as I'm when I experience
The
being
sense,
observed,
yeah.
I only know that something is looking over my shoulder, basically.
Yeah.
And it's when the book is open.
Yeah. Or it's like, in that same way, it's like if a person is like trying to read what you're reading, it's that sense, only the positionality of it is behind your own eyes.
Right. But I do not have that sense when I look at the boat, when I look at anything else, right? The presence is not there.
No. There's something about this document.
Rosie, how do I get this information into me without reading it? Let me posit this, and at the same time I posit it to the DM.
Simultaneously?
Yes.
Double positment?
Speak to both. No, I have encode thoughts.
Ooh.
So my question is, I cannot read the book because Sangolith might be observing. Can I take Rosie's memory of having read the book and absorb that as an indirect way of receiving that knowledge?
I think that's a really cool idea.
That is super
So
crazy.
I won't have read the book, but I will know what it is.
So help our friends at home.
Oh, yeah. Here, let's find out if this even is possible. So this is, it's a cantrip? Mm-hmm. So I just fire this off in battle?
Cantrips, but some cantrips have crazy pants cast times.
Okay, so putting a finger to your head, you pull a memory, an idea, or a message from your mind, transform it into a tangible string of glowing energy called a thought strand, which persists for the duration, which is 8 hours. So it's got this, so now somebody can have it. If you cast the spell while concentrating on a spell or an ability that allows you to read or manipulate the thoughts of others, you can transform the thoughts or memories you read rather than your own into a thought strand. Casting the spell while holding a thought strand allows you to receive whatever memory that contains. Okay. So I can convey an altered memory to somebody, should I want to do that.
Yeah.
Or I can extract one.
So it's a pensive thing.
And retrieve it.
Yeah.
Well, dude, that's the most Cthulhu shit there is.
Yeah, seriously. It's awesome.
So
Guildmaster's Guide?
Yeah. I'm saying to Rosie, like, if I could receive that information that way, I relate to you, like, in case the previous body failed, I was working on a contingency to store as many thought strands as I could.
Oh,
Just the good stuff.
wow.
Just the important parts.
Where'd they go?
Well, I can only cast one at a time. I was trying to find a workaround.
Oh, okay.
I can't keep it all in one strand, but I bet you could keep a book's worth,
Yeah, it doesn't.
or at least the sense
thesis.
of a book. Right.
You wouldn't be able to. There's no limit, right? So you could just constantly be pulling out thoughts.
It says it's a single strand, which relates to like an idea or a memory or a message.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's finite, but it might serve like as a Cliff's Notes
Yeah.
version.
Especially for Cthulhu, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is back in character. This is something you would have to do to me first, or
It says, while concentrating on a spell or an ability that allows you to read or manipulate the thoughts of others, I'll ask Rosie, but maybe the DM can also sound off. Would awakened mind count as that? I am retrieving the thought of others.
Yeah, that's basically how it is.
Yeah.
You're trying to create a back channel for this information, then encode it and perceive it.
but no matter how you perceive it, no matter how the information gets to you, is it still not perceivable by the Singolith?
That I don't know. All I know is that I only am in trouble when I look at the book. It may know about the book, but not its contents.
I don't think we can risk that. I think
Makes sense.
this information is too valuable.
I would be fine if I was the one who couldn't know, because it seems like it's important for our task.
I don't think that there's nothing in this book that you can't know. The method appears to be just simply not thinking about.
Like instinctively.
That's too much. But if the not thinking about is the whole secret. So we just don't think about. I mean, you've been thinking about this thing with plenty, and it hasn't attacked us yet. So not here anyway.
Yeah, but I've been doing that so much that if I stop thinking about it, it might notice, and it would be weird.
It would know something's up.
Something's up. Yeah. We haven't talked in a long time.
I see. Well, in that case,
You read it, and everybody should be aware of these contents.
okay. All right.
And yeah,
I don't think you can know this. This is,
that
I
is
know.
so upsetting.
I'm very aware of how frustrating that must be for you. But this book is filled with unknowable knowledge that you can never attain. Not in this lifetime or any other.
I understand.
And
I just hold it.
everyone else will know it except for you.
Don't touch it. I just want to look at it a little bit.
That was mean. The last part was mean. That wasn't necessary, Rosie.
She's enjoying this just a little tiny bit.
That's really important.
I suppose we should find Walnut. I gotta share this knowledge with her. For sure. She's gotta know.
Everyone should know.
Everyone should know. Not you, of course, obviously. And I do think, so I pick myself up and I have this book kind of out clutched to my chest, and I look around and I say, do we know where she is? Have you seen her?
I don't know where she was conducted to, no.
We should find her.
Yeah, who would know? How can we locate?
Well, we do know where the medical ward was because that's where Admiral Papa was being held. So I assume she could be there.
Okay, yeah. That sounds,
It's a good place to start.
that's a good place to take my mind off this.
The hospital ward. Think of all the weird stuff that's probably going on in there.
Oh, yeah. That's also interesting.
Okay, so
That'll sate me.
I like this. So Rosie, knowing that this is driving Cthulhu crazy, would now do anything to try to take his mind off of it.
Yeah.
So to be like, so did you you find anything for the downstairs? Did anything? I mean, everything here is going to be halfling size, of course.
I don't care.
You know what's interesting is the way that the visuals kind of shift around in this ship. You move your head this way, and it looks one way. You move your head that way. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's interesting,
very
how,
interesting.
how trivial it is.
It's
I'm amazed at how it doesn't need to be considered at all.
You know what's surprising is that the food here is quite good.
It's
quite good. I like it a lot. Are you hungry?
Yes.
We should get something. We should bring something to Walnut. What do you think she'd like to eat? Do you want to get some food? Let's get some food for Walnut.
Can I suggest this praxis, since we're already in the fetish zone? Knowledging.
No edging. Oh yeah. Everything with Cthulhu is edging of one kind or another.
Okay, let's go. All
right, so we head back to the hospital ward in the hopes of seeing if we can pick up a trace of where Walnut has ended up.
Absolutely. And when you get there, there is a lot of people there.
Okay.
The Daughters of Maleth have essentially taken over this wing. So there are 2 people near the door.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, you're allowed in. It's fine.
We're on the list.
You're waved in. They direct you to it. But for the last 15, 20 minutes, your tiny room has been packed end to end, like top to bottom, with Daughters of Maleth.
What are they doing?
They're also spitting good
Yeah, exactly. They're all just, but each other, and then by the time it gets to you, it's very thin.
They're all sisters.
Yeah, exactly. Here, we share the berry.
No, what are they doing? Are they fucking recognizing? Because Maliki was standing on the ship behind me.
Oh, no, there's a lot about this, but what it's done is, I mean, they have come to believe that they live in the age of miracles.
Okay.
And
in some ways they do.
Well, being near to you and Brahma is especially because of when you consider the
Oh, shit, we're making a cult.
Especially when you consider
been a cult for a while.
consider the origin,
Yeah.
what they came out of, and where they have arrived at. There is more questions than answers.
Okay.
And so they are agitating for another council.
Okay. And I am weary in my bed. So just imagine Walnut,
The Godfather.
in the bed, basically, just being like, all right, what would you have me do?
So you're leaning forward?
No, Walnut's leaning back.
Yeah, you're leaning back.
Just flat on the bed.
Not flat on the bed, but propped up slightly.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, okay, what would you wish of me?
So there is glances travel around the room, and Sonnet steps forward and says,
It's a troublemaker, this one.
"Yeah, says there is. We're plainly in the dawn of war. But how are we daughters to prepare for this war?"
That I don't know. We need more information. We need to know our enemy.
It is too quiet. The response to this is a silence that completely takes all the oxygen out of the room.
Walnut says, in my time of need, the goddess has revealed herself to me and has helped me. And truth be told, I'm relying on that to happen again. But that doesn't help everyone in this room. And we need to find a way for you to fight too.
We are able to figure out where Walnut is based on the crowd.
Oh no, you
I'd
can
love
hear
if
it.
you can hear
it's
what's
like
happening.
it's all small circular tents. Just imagine if you were standing on the forest floor, like in a redwood forest, something like that, with the very large trunks. Imagine that you just have that lower slice from the ceiling down, and that's basically what it looks like. There's just a bunch of these circular tents established on this layer.
I see. Okay. So they've all camped out.
And it's very plain because most of this is, a light hue and then very neutral circular fabrics that are there, and then there's a lot of young women, and it is not hard to figure out where this is happening.
Okay.
So one thing I want to say that I do tell the room about, I tell them about what the Sangolith is.
So I would love to hear what that is, like for them.
Okay.
And Rosie, I think, and Kuzris we're like at the back of the crowd, so we're hearing this presentation, but I don't think.
So this is like the crib notes of Walnut's.
The crypt garden.
The crypt notes of what Walnut thinks, and she says, she uses her words very carefully, and she says, the Sangolith, as we've come to know it, captures gods, and so too did it capture our goddess, Maleth. I was able to...
And as you say Maleth, like the crowd looks to Brahma.
Yeah. I say, we need to free the gods contained within in the order in which they were captured, reversed. I was able to free Maleth by transforming into my tree self and pounding on the crystal until it broke, and with Meliki's help. And I say, I believe we must free the other gods in the correct order in some way in order to defeat this, in order to weaken this enemy, in order to defeat it. I say, if anyone has any ideas.
Right. So this is more information.
Yes.
And this is helpful. This is like some place to start, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Some place that prayerful meditation can begin.
Great.
Sonnet holds her hand up for a moment, and the conversations come to a close. And she says, our Salith has found a kind of power in death.
Has our Salith passed on?
No. Our Salith has discovered, allowed to study mystic arts and magic. Our Salith has discovered a means by which death itself may be used as a weapon.
This is something I wish to know about.
I don't know if you hear, I hear a bark from the behind way out. Oh!
A bark up.
But it's in a voice I don't recognize, so I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Sonnet is about to open her mouth, and Scythe steps forward
Oh, yeah.
to the left, and she places a hand on Sonnet and says, Walnut, sister, are we not to put a stop to this?
Oh boy.
I have to know more about it to know.
You have to know more about the power of death.
And Walnut says, I have been granted a vision, and if that vision comes to pass, many of us will fall. And if there is something we can do in our falling, I would know about it.
There's a few nods. There are those who recognize that there's a pragmatic element to this.
I recognize this is a unpopular opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a hot take.
This is a hot take.
So
My hottest take.
another daughter pushes forward. So the main thing that characterizes this council over the other one is that it's not just Sonnet
Good.
speaking. You've already heard from a couple.
So this is a new one?
Yeah, exactly.
And I say, your name, sister.
Very.
Great.
And she it's just like her face is like between Sonnet and Scythe. She's like pushing them apart and looking through like the slats, like a bead curtain. She says, sister, Scythe and Sonnet wish to marry. And they just die.
I say,
The two of them die. They're dead.
Oh my gosh.
0 hit points.
I say, This is it.
They fall to 0 hit points and must make death saves each round.
Walnut says,
Sonnet says, we are on a war footing. These matters of the heart, of course, can... and then Scythe picks up, wait until the end of the campaign.
Walnut slams a hand down on her bed, and it makes a frump noise, but it's enough to silence them. And Walnut says, we are on the eve of war. This matters now more than ever. And she says, I would be honored to handfast you.
Sonnet says, we don't know the old words.
And Walnut says, I've seen it performed once before for myself.
Okay, yeah, that's got him moving.
Great.
There's a churn in the tent.
Walnut says, should I speak them now?
Rosie says, hold up, pushing through. She's like, okay, yes, we can have a wedding, but where's the cake? We don't have dress. You can't get married in this? What is this?
And I say, grandmother, it's good to see you.
Hello, sweetheart. I'm so glad you're well.
These are warriors. This is...
What? At least a hand fence, like a ribbon or something. Come on, there's gotta be flowers.
Barry grabs, reaching through, Barry grabs Sonnet's hand and Scythe's hand and just places and just crosses them over and then just disappears.
What?
Walnut reaches into her bag and she has a bunch of
snake.
quills. A bunch of quills
Puts a snake up.
from the Acq Inc. Headquarters, and they're bound by a red ribbon. 'Cause I always think their branding is red and black.
Yeah, it's like a fresh quill.
Fresh quill. And she takes off the ribbon and all the quills fall to, like, everywhere. And so you can tell this is like a serious thing. 'Cause
Right.
she's letting this happen.
Yeah.
They fly away. And it's not quite enough, but she binds their hands in a way that's, mimicking what Nalayan had done. And she starts saying her best approximation of what Nalayan had said. And it's important that it's not right. It's not quite right.
No, but even better is if Brahma comes in and just like murmurs the correct word.
Yes. Yes, because I would imagine Brahma would have like a good memory for that kind of
you
thing.
bet she does.
I pick up the quills, I split them into 2, and I give one to each of the warriors, like little bouquets. At least hold them with the other hand.
And that enters into tradition, is holding feathers now.
No, 1,000 years later, there are feathers. They're
garbed
I
in
was just gonna
feathers.
say, that's the end of the C team.
And that's the end of the season.
The camera just
Pan
pulls
out.
away.
Just feathers, head to toe.
So, yeah, and when Walnut finishes the words, she undoes the ribbon and she hands it to both of them. And she says, one of you carry this into battle. In our custom, I believe it would protect you.
And the other one's just fucked.
Shit out of luck, yeah.
The other one would pick up the mantle if the other one falls.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Nice. Scythe and Sonnet don't know, like you can tell that they don't know who should take it.
And I
Like
say,
it's like a Lady of the Tramp sort of thing with the noodle.
and I say, welcome to marriage.
Scythe gives it an extra tug, and incorporates it
What about kissing?
into her raiment.
Do they not kiss?
They can do that on their own time.
I want to see it.
This is a war.
It's
I appreciate
beautiful.
this.
Do I get the sense that the council's over?
Yeah.
Okay, so once everybody's like uproaring or whatever, and I say to Rosie, and I say, Cathris, you need to bring me Cathris.
Oh,
Did you not notice? Yeah, when the crowd parts some, you can see like the one who looked like they didn't get finished. They're not finished getting dressed.
Yeah.
It's just
they
like
showed it. They were
unkempt.
late. They woke up late and they had to like show up at the council
and they
anyway.
ran out
So when you
in a
said
towel.
downstairs, you meant downstairs
Downstairs.
in Creta.
Yeah.
And Walnut knows immediately who it is. And Walnut looks at Rosie pleadingly and says, I need one moment alone with
course.
Cthulhu.
Absolutely. I can go orchestrate a honeymoon. Apparently, we got to do that tonight because we're going to war tomorrow. And she goes tearing after Sonnet and Scythe. She's like, I saw a nice suite when I was walking around. I think you two could share it for tonight. It'd be very important.
Incredible. Walnut is like, God bless.
They can have the ship.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm talking about the
Please.
honeymoon suite.
Yeah.
The ship's a rockin'.
You guys can have the whole run of the ship.
Yeah, when the ship is bobbing on
They're
astral
christening the
winds.
ship.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so I have Brahma usher out the rest of the daughters, and I see Cthulhu.
It doesn't take much.
Good.
Like recall that, just yesterday, in real time, for them, they saw black antlers
Yeah.
come out of this woman, and then a woman made of stars also. It was a lot.
It was a lot, and they respect it.
No, they feel it.
And you know what? They respect
They
it.
like it. I like Amy. Amy is all about this queen goddess look. And Walnut can't stand it.
She
Just
can't do it,
A plus
but it's
play.
fine. Yeah.
So good. So good.
So she kind of sits up in bed, and it's like, like she has some aches and stuff. Like this really took a lot out of her, like body and soul. And she says, Cthulhu, come close.
Yeah.
I would look at you.
Cthulhu, so I approach, and there's a hesitance, like, what's the right thing? And I just kneel on one knee. And I'm like, friend, how can I repay you? There's no way. We both know that there's no way. What you've done for me.
Walnut says, I am not your friend. I am your sibling. And I just want you to be okay.
This game's too much.
It's a lot. Because of you, I am. For now, and the for now part is not because of you, but it's because of the Sanguilith. I'm not saying that you did a bad job. You did an amazing job.
Is the Sanguilith still within you?
In a way, yes, I think so. That's why, and I showed the lost finger that was cut off.
I hold your hand and I say, worn in already?
Yeah,
I just made this.
it's in the walls.
You had your phone 2 days, dropped it, cracked the screen.
Yeah.
Dropped it right in the toilet.
You know what? And you didn't get the fucking.
didn't get
It
the
would have been
protection.
$100. It would have been $100. Now you got to spend $200.
Like the resurrection is so precise that it even maintained the bond, the pact. I wish that it hadn't.
You
but
did
it's
too good a job.
But it's it's a A+. Kudos.
Walnut goes, she is racked with guilt again, and she goes, I'm so sorry. I only knew how to do it one way. I only knew one way. And I'm sorry that this still haunts you.
Brahma had given the two of you space, but she won't listen to that.
Oh, rewind it. What was
Yeah.
the piece that?
The guilt. And she comes over and she says, you know what would have happened if you hadn't done it.
Walnut gets like color drains from her face, and she goes, I wanted to talk to you because I think you have a right to know what would have happened if you chose the other body. And Walnut tells you everything that she saw.
Brahma, she tells you this story, and then in the silence that's required to process it, Brahma says, I'd love you. I won't hear ill spoken of you, even by you.
Walnut just says, I love you too, but this is who I am. What's she say now, Jerry?
Well, she says, Malith is within me, but she was gifted to me. I'm trying, but I'm not of the Enclave. And she says, but the gift is infinite. What if I gave it back?
Would that? And Walnut's
She says,
gears are turning.
she says, I need a piece of paper. If
That Walnut can do.
if Maleth cast Tiamat out, could she not also cast out the Sangolith?
Walnut's like, just thinks to herself, shouldn't say it out loud, but she's like, well, what can't Maleth do? What have I known her to be able to not accomplish? But Walnut looks over at Kithris and she goes, I would never have you house a god that you weren't comfortable with. And if you have some other means to displace this curse on you, it's completely in your hands.
Say, oh, sibling, this is the means. I've been tethered and made to suffer at the hands of individuals who I did not like for most of my existence. Of course I would accept this one. This god, this goddess could really get me out of a jam.
Wow, way to take the emotional heat out of it.
What can I do?
To get a god into you today.
This bad boy? Fits so many gods.
Walnut looks at Brahma and she
Brahma-
puts the back of her
Brahma
hand on her
is-
face.
Brahma's eyes are black.
Oh,
And Walnut knows that she's not talking to her anymore.
Right. And
but
like as your hand sort of like moves down, the antlers have begun to meticulously construct themselves according to a divine mathematics.
Well, Walnut is touching her face, and she looks back at Kithris, and she says this. She would have said this to Brahma, but she says it to Kithris. And she says, Brahma doesn't need Maleth to be part of the Enclave. She will be of us soon. And I say, I would be honored if you housed her now.
Maleth turns her head, like just the majestic, gleaming crown turns its full force on you. And you know that this is like an iconic representation. It can't possibly contain all the sophistication and complexity of it's packed down. Even in this diminished state,
yeah.
it's overwhelming. And Maleth says, will you again be a road warlock?
Yeah, Kithris, you see that I'm very pragmatic. I like to think I am, but it's not present now. Like, I'm shaking because it's like I am sore afraid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say, I'm barely fit to house my own god. I accept. Then I'm on the ground.
Yeah. She reaches her hand down to you, and in it is the hilt of a blade. It's like she's just holding the hilt of a sword.
Oh, yeah, I grasp it.
As you draw it out, it is as though her arm is a sheath, and the sword that you draw out is made of rich emerald green glass. And in that moment, you are seated just on a simple stool in a dark place that is lit from below by stars. And seated opposite you is Moral Conebluth. And she says, "Is this, guys, acceptable? I would speak, Thriss."
By all means.
She says, "I have what you want. The I contain the as I contain the others. There is no reason, no true reason. I know what you desire the most, and that is the certainty I possess. Why would you cast it away? You're this close. You're this close to actually knowing. You're going to take this sword? This weapon? It's not you, is it? Not really."
Yes, a little gauche. Visually.
I'm saying.
These
Indeed.
things don't matter that much. But
This has been my position from the beginning. There was never really another choice, Thriss.
and yet, no one is in the position to act as intercessor.
I am in a position to act as intercessor.
If you,
My knowledge of the is complete. I contain it within myself. I am the parentheses.
Jerry, and Cthulhu says that.
It's like this. Imagine the crisp, cool silence of a universe where there is only communion with the
I yearn for that. But that universe is not located inside of a stomach. And if you are an intercessor, if you do stand between me and my God,
You know it to be true.
if this is what I perceive to be true,
Yeah,
then
you
that is
have-
a limitation of mine, not a power of yours.
Says, Thriss, understand that what the future holds for you, the near future, the imminent future, understand that it brings me no pleasure.
I would
You
hope
were
so.
a profound investment on my part, and look at what you've accomplished. Look at what we've accomplished.
Yeah. Even that is proof that you are not as great as you believe yourself to be. What a mistake you have made.
You delight me, Thriss. You delight me. This cheek, this pluck. You know what? You can still surprise. I imagined that you were the herald because of how you looked. Isn't that funny? I contain the herald now. It looks like you did look before. How could I have missed it?
Yeah, Cthulhu is not laughing. He's very stone-faced. I'm delighted. But so, yeah, Cthulhu, I say, well, then you have him. Rejoice. What more do you need of me? You have every part of me that you desire. Remade even.
And I shall have the rest soon enough. You find yourself kneeling before Maleth, this gleaming green glass sword in your hands. Next time you come to the table, you need to remake Cthulhu as a Hexblade.
Oh, shit. Yes.
Holy shit.
So, choice ma.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
real quick. So, do I get the sense that this consciousness has moved?
This is the spiritual bond is immense.
Okay. So I look at Cthulhu and I summon my strength and I take you in my arms and I just say, "You're home."
All right. Gather throng. Revered Shadow Council, may our labors please you. Hey, we're going to be back with more C-Team action and adventure right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
On my phone.
Hello. I'm Jeffrey K. Horcrims. Welcome back to Test C-Teams. This is the most important piece of information that could possibly be conveyed, which is that as Cthulhu rises to accept their commission, their mystic spiritual commission from Maleth as a Hexblade warlock, what comes along with that is like the DLC armor,
Yes.
right? The kind, it's like
Paint
best
it for me, Jerry.
best value,
Let's see what you got.
right? Like the monster sets
Yes.
in
Oh,
ESO,
yeah.
which I know about.
I'm
'cause I
going to grind
installed
on that. I'm going to find a
Yeah.
way. But I get the pants, though? I get...
Yeah, exactly.
Breast?
That's the key. Is that you have the pants. It is essentially from head to toe. The look is a mystical eco-terrorist librarian.
Is it like the blue and black, but like EPA flavored?
Yeah, exactly. Like the oil on the surface, but then scroll cases where a quiver might be. Prepped. Now, so do we still want to play Dungeons and Dragons? Or
Not
what do we
really.
do
I
now?
kind of just
I
want
wanna-
to work on the art.
Let's just steep. Let's just think about it.
God's going into people is the only way I can get off now.
Yeah, this is the game for you because that's basically all we got.
Nothing
We got
else
that
will
one
do.
button and we fucking push it like
Mashing it.
crazy.
So I want to walk out of this room with Cthulhu and find Rosie, who I'm assuming was eavesdropping the whole time.
Not the whole.
At the curtain.
Yeah. Well, so she ushered the happy married couple off to the boat.
Yes.
And made sure that they had room service on the way, whatever that entails on a library
Potatoes.
ship. Yeah,
Worms.
probably fucking potato slices. And then just like casually, as with the premise of like picky tidying things up and like, you know what? I think I forgot. I left something back in that room, so I'm just gonna slowly make my way there. But it ends up being extremely direct route,
Yes.
little halfling legs. And then, so she hears the tail end of this, and whatever, I don't know what came out of Cthulhu's mouth as they were getting this gift.
That would have been
Maleth.
silent.
Yeah, so just like some silence and some ruffling, and then what sounds like a hug and some murmuring. And so she's like,
busts in?
things are going well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I think she's still respectful. She respects Walnut's desire for privacy, but
That's really sweet.
like, I think you guys are both elves, very quiet. You exit that room. Rosie had no idea. She could not hear the little elven footsteps.
To the way.
Like a Prius.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So scary, dude. And you can die.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can die at the mouth of a Prius.
Yeah. So Rosie is like leaning on whatever curtain, and then you two come out, and she's like falls forward, like, there it is. That's what I was looking for. My hospital blanket.
Walnut's supporting herself on the wall. She's still a little tired. And she motions to Cthulhu and just goes, look at them. Look at all of them.
I leave you two alone for 5 minutes? He refused to put on pants for the last 8 hours. or sorry, they. Oh, I'm gonna get this one of these days.
We're like, it's okay, Grandma.
I'm gonna mess up so much.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's like.
So now, so you're like holding yourself on the wall, and an exhausted Brahma has now taken your place on the bed and has laid back.
Oh, shit. I run back in there. And I look at Brahma and I go, I don't know if you heard me, but I just want you to know I'm going to make you feel part of this grove.
Okay.
You're going to be the best one.
Is this?
And I bet the daughters will leave you alone now.
I get real tired.
I know.
I get real tired. I'm like her shoe. I'm just like a shoe that she puts on.
You did such a good job. And then
Really?
I kiss her forehead and I go,
Ugh.
you did a good thing today.
Hey, you know what? I try to do one each day. And then she falls asleep.
I kiss her forehead again and I tuck her in. And I'm just amazed at the strength of her.
Yeah, she
And
has it.
Her nature.
I've got my hands on my hips. I'm looking around at all this.
So you're looking at this? No, and then at your ankle, Vizier, wings are back.
Same energy.
Well, same energy, just like assessing,
Yeah.
judging.
I wouldn't say I'm judgy. There is a point where Rosie, I'm turning like, Vizier's, unbeknownst to me, Vizier is
It was perfect mirror.
the same.
Oh, I go up and I put my arm around Cthulhu and I go, we're gonna ride these goddesses into battle. That's what's happening.
Wide eyes.
Yeah, she's just like,
Is that too?
she's like,
Is that too?
Me and them.
To Rosie?
yeah, I say that to Rosie.
Yeah, it's the same. While I feel like I feel like a shoe, like a stylish, incredible, well-made boot
And I say,
that a god is wearing.
one shoe on one foot, another shoe on the other foot. And I motion to Brahma and then Cthulhu. And I say, the goddess does as she pleases, but she sure does help us.
You all did some god shit while I was gone, didn't you?
You kids are doing that god shit again. Are you doing god shit now?
Get these gods out of there. You, ow.
I can smell god shit in there.
Is there a god in there?
No, let's keep you for friend.
And I say, the Sangolith is gone.
What do you mean gone? We win?
Oh, see, so yeah, when you say that, amid all of the the energy that I feel, the goddess and this youthful body, and I've missed not, feeling
Yeah.
old and tired, that makes me upset. Like, but did it work? Did it work? And then I get worried that that's sacrilege. It's been a while
Oh, yeah.
since I had a direct line to a god I could make mad.
Might be able to test it. And Rosie produces the book from earlier.
Oh yeah,
The Psychology of Silence, or whatever it was called, right?
the perfect litmus test. Yeah. Okay. I hesitantly take it.
No, you perceive it as Rosie perceived it.
Okay, so I'm seeing the word.
You see a book, you see the gold leaf embossed on the surface. The Liberator would be overjoyed.
And I have an eye on you. I still have my bracelet, but you no longer have your necklace, right?
yeah.
The old body got
That
that.
might come into play
I know.
at some point.
That's how we win.
He doesn't need air. He never did.
Honestly, it was a
you
plus.
tell me.
It was a plus.
But I'm kind of like, I'm fiddling with the bracelet just sort of self-consciously as you open this, just in case, but
Yeah.
nothing, of course, would happen
Yeah.
from it.
No,
It's gone?
It's gone. I can read it.
It's gone.
It's visible to me.
Yeah. Now the one piece that comes along with this, this fervor and this energy,
Is a love of the show One Piece.
exactly, which is an anime.
Gotta get into it.
Ooh, Ryan liked that.
No, is that the tiny connection, that hopeful connection to the is completely gone. Like even that remnant connection, that aspirational channel that you could occasionally tap into is silent.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Upon realizing that,
No, as you feel it, like as you feel that Tower of Terror, we've all seen it, Twilight Zone, California Adventure.
You'll fall
it's
down.
Galaxy. It's Guardians of the Galaxy now.
Yeah, oh, really? Anyway,
Still got Rod Serling though.
yeah, as you you feel that elevator sensation, Brahma like looks over to you out of a sleep and says, "Be not afraid." And then she says, "Look who I'm talking to." And then she rolls over the other way and goes back to sleep.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a shock at how little upset I feel over lacking that. Like I know that there exists, and I know that is where we are going.
Yeah.
So
There is the consolation that is there. Like the comfort is alien.
yeah,
It takes a while to figure out what it is.
Do you still have your focus?
yeah, I still have it. I don't know that I can do anything through it now.
It's
Maybe-
a rock.
Yeah. This is going to require some.
It's a cool stone that you have.
Our people love rocks.
That's
We're
good.
into it.
That's a start.
That's something.
In
Ever
common.
the optimist.
Yeah. I'm going to have to, I vow to meditate on that. I need to realize that connection being lost.
Well, and you'll be able to realize it using the D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Easier than ever to identify your lost connection to your patron god.
Ooh, new ultimate?
Yeah, we have to do a new
Yum,
ultimate.
yum.
Well, you know what we'll do? We'll talk about it at Table Talk.
Okay, I already have ideas.
Really?
No?
Hey, just give me Forest Friends. Let me have that. I'll just do that too.
You want to use it once a season? You can have it. It's a 3rd level spell.
It's all the time.
When do I get a new alt? Table talk.
Table talk.
I'm pissed.
New ults.
It's going to happen.
New ults focus for us.
Now, yeah, you write it all down. Write it all down. There is, you can hear a shouting and a commotion from the entrance to this ward.
Okay.
Can't stay happy for 2 minutes.
No, no.
You guys, you have your arms around each other and you're just giving Rosie this like super wild-eyed, like we've just done a whole bunch of coke kind of a look. She's like, oh, great. And then and now we hear some rustling.
No, you think it's Dinaar's voice.
Oh.
Yep.
He says,
That tracks.
why?
Yeah.
Why is everything here so sharp?
Oh boy.
Do you have any safe rooms?
Hustle over toward the sound.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I got it, Rosie. I got it.
I don't think you got it.
I have it.
What's going on?
Don't worry about it. He's like holding in the middle part of his body. It's fine.
It doesn't look fine.
No, I'm going to cast a spell.
That looks like most of your hit points.
I'm just going to lie down, 8 and skate.
That sounds like Dinaar.
So he sort of like pushes himself into one of these curtained cylinders, but there's already someone in that one. So he has to leave, and he has to at every juncture he needs to appear as though everything that's happening is fully intentional, and he has to go to 2 more before he finally finds one that has a bed in it.
just watching and waiting. They'll figure it out.
Each time he pings between one of these, the trudge is a little slower.
And every time it comes out, Rosie's like, still got it?
Eventually, it's just a thumb. Eventually, he just shows you the thumb
No eye contact.
and a little smile. Tries to reach back to the crack. The smile never gets to the eyes.
All right, well,
Step, drag, stumble.
yeah. As long as he's laying down, he can get that long rest. Did he find a place?
Yeah. It took a while.
Okay.
It was the 4th such journey.
I heave a very heavy sigh, and I go check to make sure that he's actually resting comfortably, because it did look like there was a lot of dragon-based blood pouring out. Did he actually find a bed?
Yeah, exactly. And then ultimately he was able to, by the time you go in and look, he is asleep, but he takes up the entire bed. So it's just limbs out on the back and then legs down on the front.
Okay.
As much surface area as possible. And you think that the bed probably has maybe another half hour in it.
Okay.
Before it becomes synonymous with the ground.
Well, so just kind of tisking to myself, I get in there and I put, everything's halfling sized, but underneath.
It's a good size.
It's the size, but I put all the pillows I can find underneath the bed for when it inevitably collapses under his weight. And the whole time I'm like, couldn't have found a bed. It's your size. They said you go to left 7. That's where you were going to find a bed. But you clearly didn't go to left 7, did you, Dinaar? No, you decided you were going to go to someplace with something stabby that's going to get you in the stomach. And there's a tiny, 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 tiny little halfling blanket that gets pulled up over Dinaar's mask.
It's like putting a napkin on your belly.
It becomes a bib. Once it gets up here.
So, but you start pulling it on at the feet
Yes.
like you should.
Exactly.
And then it just
All the
keeps
way
going up.
Yep, the whole time as though it's covering his whole body, and it gets all the way up to his chin in this little halfling blanket. And I'm like,
Like the rest of it is just a grandmother's love. It's like somehow it does extend.
it keeps you warm.
Yeah. Still.
He's getting chided in his sleep, but not too loud so he doesn't wake up. But I gotta make sure my baby boy's warm.
You're a good grandma.
Thanks.
As you as it reaches the. Is there something you'd like to
No,
say?
I'm just
Chris?
delighted.
Oh.
That was in character.
as it gets in the same way that, like, you know how you can like form feet and legs, form arms and torso, and form the head. Like there's like the magna locks that go in. Once the bib is magna locked underneath the chin, the light in this place shifts to violet.
Oh,
Oh.
like a soothing violet, or
You don't think it's intended to be soothing, and you hear a voice that appears that is instantiated from mouths about every 15 feet. The mouth says, "This is Sorrel. Prepare for Shardfall." And she's like, "Rosie, get up here."
so it's over now. Across the whole ship. Okay,
Breaker 19.
so you guys heard this too, right?
Yeah.
Heard what?
All right, so I make sure to grab the two of you. Like we're gonna have to probably go up one of those weird staircases, but stick with me. I don't think I can do this without you guys.
So you traverse the coil up into the sort of that command, that inverted diamond I described before. The same place where you were given the knowledge that perhaps things have gone on a bit farther than you thought,
Right.
as far as the Homeward Star is concerned.
This is essentially the bridge.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. It just rests on the top. But from here, they have the ability to observe and view things that are around the ship.
Okay.
And you can see what looks almost like a school of fish. And so when you break into when you break out into the diamond, Sorrel looks up and waves you over quickly, and then she points up and then snaps her fingers a couple times, and you see that the clear gem shift again into that mode of vision that shows exclusively that which the Sanguilith has touched.
Okay.
And it is in this vision that you see, as I suggested, this sort of like a swimming school of fish. It's like a flocking bird. So this is the same sort of behavior. It's as though a range of crystal shapes are all sort of traversing space according to some designated mode, and they all move as though they are hinged to one another.
Swarm dynamics, is that what it's called?
Yeah. So they are essentially sweeping through space.
Okay. And they can't see, they don't appear to see us? Does it look like they're hunting?
Yes, that is exactly. So do you want to just say that to Sorrel?
I'll say, are they hunting?
She says yes. They do this after we have been discovered somewhere. They send one of these schools, and she says, so they're trying to find the ship. and you're seeing this thing like a kite almost, just sort of like flailing and flapping around, traversing the same ribbons and passages that you've learned, but it is moving with incredible speed.
Does it ever find a ship this way?
She says, we have lost ships before, but we don't know if this is how we don't know if this is how they've done it. And as it begins to slow down, and then as it slows down, they begin to spread out in a kind of mesh where the distances between them are completely uniform. It's almost like a quilt. Like you can see sort of like an undulation can pass through the entire plane of this thing. And then the one at the very tip, at the front, bursts. And it fills, from here, you'd have to guess, it's a massive area, hundreds of feet wide, with a cloud of purple glass.
Does it endanger us, our ship?
That doesn't appear to, that's far enough away.
Right.
But this quilt is beginning to stretch out and near the ship.
Rosie, I sort of take a ready stance, even though there's nothing combat-wise for me to do. And with my eyes still on this, I ask Sorrel, what are our options here?
She says, we're going to move very slowly away from it and hope that we aren't caught in these clouds unless you have a better plan.
I feel like, does Rosie look to Kathris?
Yes.
Like,
It's like flak, essentially. It's just filling up these massive spaces with this, as we know, conscious crystal substance.
I'm more disturbed than you used to seeing, like in the wrong way, in the bad way, in the fearful way.
It would be hard not to come to the conclusion that you were being actively hunted.
Yeah, but on top of that, like I am not used to having at least some, unwanted communion with this other god, but I have no information. I don't know what this is.
Oh, yeah. Now it's the opposite, isn't it?
I have no look in on. I don't have the I'm kind of.
Oh, so
I
now
don't even know what
you're
I can
actually
do.
exposed to it the way that everyone else is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know what. Yeah, I'm almost paralyzed by it.
Yeah, it's just alien.
Yeah.
This alien seeking intellect.
Usually when we're dealing with the Sanguith, that's something that Rosie would turn to Kathris and get some kind of insight on. So she sees your face and it's just sort of this mask of fear and uncertainty. It's almost like somebody who, like you used to be able to hear something, but now you can't hear anymore, right? And it's so it's like a lost sense. So she sees that, and then she turns to Walnut with that same kind of like, do we have any better ideas?
Walnut looks at Kathris and goes, you have Malith inside you. She was imprisoned inside it. Ask her. What do we do?
What would I do?
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe they don't know how to ask.
Yeah, they don't know how to
Walnut
ask.
asks Maliki for stuff all the time, so it just seems like
Yeah, it's a button.
Kathris has never had a god where you like, can this be? And they come back with anything. There's nothing. Nothing has ever come back from very little has come back from the earth. Mm-hmm. So like that it's like, that's crazy. If you're like, you talk to the goddess, Kathris's response is,
Roll an insight check.
Hey.
I'm gonna take advantage of it. if I
yeah,
may.
you got all those.
I'm going to take advantage of this.
Ooh, 3.
Check.
That's the new
Malith,
number.
this is threes.
There you go. And what's my insight? I get flat, so 17.
Oh, 17 is quite good. So as you are looking out, there is gentle, like information is being fed to you gently, like
being spit into my mouth.
No. Like it's being spit.
Welcome to the Enclave.
No, it's being spit into your mind. No,
Boy.
no.
All right.
It's like a titration. Like it's the information is arriving, and it's not the overwhelm or alien presence that presses down and exposes you to things that the mind is unable to fully contain.
Yeah.
It is giving you the information that you need as you need it at a rate that it is possible to conceive.
What a kindness.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You may see just go. "Ah." That's the first reaction. Oh, I'm learning.
It sucks.
This is what learning is like.
So you, as clever and as crafty as the Sanguilith is, it's still trying to accomplish this feat on the prime material plane, which means at some level it is not necessarily subject to Maliki and Malith, but everybody has to play by some fundamentals.
The ground is more level here.
Exactly. And these patterns are, however strange it may like to present itself, they're occurring according to nature's law. So you think, as you watch it happen, as you watch these gems burst and fill huge channels of space with this seeking consciousness, you think that you can detect a pattern and an order that it appears to be occurring in.
Yeah. I relate this to the to Sorrel and to everybody.
Yeah.
But do I feel like it is like is it like determinist? Or
Yes.
Or is it like a chance that it will or won't go in this spot?
It's
covering its bases.
Having had this having very recently had a conversation with this entity, it's it's conscious, it's tricksy, but this net that it's cast, maybe it does not represent its full consciousness.
Yeah. It's a dumb net.
Yeah,
I've seen this before.
it's just a stupid net.
Just a dumb old net.
It's a plain old net. Probably one of the weaker nets you could get. The pattern's not very good even. Well, no, it might be very sufficient for people who cannot see the
weft.
The weft of the space, yeah. And Rosie, you can also see it as you...
Through my eye patch?
Yeah. Is it the same for you? Like, are you able to receive it once I start
So you're basically trying to describe how you think it's going. Through the eye patch, you can see essentially, like, you can see something travel from crystal to crystal before they burst.
Oh.
So as they move around, you get a little bit of a hint. Like, it's fast,
Right.
but you have a hint of where the next burst is going to occur in this space.
Okay.
Solved your crystal puzzle.
Like that, thanks to my elite, my elite.
So how much of this did you relate to us?
Oh, I gave you all of it. I think you were the one who saw the little...
Yeah.
Transmitter.
So, but you hinted at it.
Right.
You know what? Is though that like you would be the one to see it because I have
You have nothing
none of this
left.
vision.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'm only guessing at these bursts.
Right.
But you can now actually perceive
I can
it.
see him.
You're the only one.
So I tell that to Sorrel. I think I can steer us out of danger if you'll grant me the helm.
The young man at the helm is like tentatively lifting his hands. Like he has no interest in doing this at all, but he is looking to Sorrel. And Sorrel, once the hands have slowly reached about a foot away from the instrumentation, she nods him away.
Okay.
And then does a couple quick slaps on the back of the chair.
Okay.
He spent his whole life working his way up the ranks.
Some old lady to swoop in and take his job.
No, he is elated.
Nice.
This is the last thing this is not exciting for him.
Okay.
Driving a library that contains the sum total of Tomnook military expertise inside a set of exploding teeth is not his idea of an afternoon well spent.
All right. Well, to each their own, I suppose. So it is Rosie's dream come true. So she sits down in in this chair that's just the right size.
Oh yeah, finally.
Finally. And the helm, I assume, is something that's sort of at least familiar as a vessel driver. Okay.
Yeah, you can conceive of it.
Okay.
The way that they have arranged their helm is that think of it something like a sand table that exists. It's like a map sand table that can just shift around and move.
Oh, okay.
And so he has a kind of stylus.
Okay.
That he can like mark in space.
Cool.
And guide the library through it.
Okay. So I pick up that stylus and I have my eye patch down and I'm watching this object or entity.
So you have to watch it. You can't see it down here.
Right.
You have to be looking up there and then controlling this down here.
Okay. So that's what I do.
Perfect. Now, how do you think?
I mean, historically.
Let me have it, Sixie.
To me, this seems like.
Because it's such a novel. I'm pretty open-minded here. Because it's such a novel mode of control that actually has a creative element and aspect to it.
I would not be upset if this was just straight dexterity saving throws.
I want to grant her advantage.
That's smooth.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Because your superpower is way better than mine in all situations. I want to save your charges.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yum.
So for me, dexterity seems right because it's a stylus. There's sand. I've got to make exact, precise
No, exactly.
movements.
Yeah, it's you're drawing.
You loving it? Okay.
What's your sleight of hand? Oh, same. I was
Yeah.
gonna say it could be sleight of hand, but
No, my dex saving throw is +8, so that's why I was
that's right.
arguing for that. Yeah.
yum yum.
Yummy num num.
Okay, so advantage on this. Okay.
Oh!
The Cthulhu special on that one.
Exerts itself.
So that's a +8, so that's an 18.
God damn.
Yeah.
God damn,
I got the 18.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So you are guiding this invisible mobile through this malevolent crystal forest. That is the most C-team sentence I think I've ever done.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I just want to take an opportunity to apologize to everyone. I didn't know 3 years ago that I would be inflicting sentences like that on people, and I really appreciate that you've spent as much time with me as you have.
We're loving it.
So, and it is perfectly silent. Like the only things that you hear as this is moving out is these distant explosions, and then just a gentle shockwave that comes in contact with the ship.
Okay. So I have one hand on the stylus and I'm staring up into this viewport to move us away as these things, I see it moving and we kind of like shift back. But I reach out for Sorrel's hand with my other hand because this is incredibly stressful and nerve-wracking, and I just like to have her, like at least to have my hand on her shoulder or to grasp her.
She's behind you. She like hugs around your, just like hugs around the front, and you can feel her cheek just against your head.
Okay, that's oddly very reassuring.
Yeah, and then she thinks that she might. She starts to call out certain things as she sees them.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
And offer gentle encouragement.
Okay.
So she says, "Are you sure you're not a tome nook?"
Trust me. Rosie doesn't. She's trying too hard to be very particular and careful right now. But even though she's like, we can have that conversation later. But like trying really hard not to move any extra at all.
I love it. So you turn, and Sorrel says, "All right, now let's." She's like, "Now let's give it a twist." She's
Okay.
like, turn the ship
Okay.
just so it's like playing Operation or something like that, but for all the marbles.
Right.
And as you tilt the ship between two other crystals with plenty of time for the next wave, you see another seeking school of crystals approaching and then layering themselves
Oh, geez.
along this, creating a type of terrain that is
Difficult.
more sophisticated.
I see. Okay.
That is more sophisticated, not impossible,
All right.
but more sophisticated. So it has increased the resolution of its search.
I see. Okay.
But it is not impossible, but it definitely does require
Another
a roll.
Okay.
I mean, now it's just imagine just this jellyfish floating through this coral reef.
Okay.
Take my advantage this time.
Oh, I shall. Thank you, my friends, my family.
Hope it's okay. Hope it works.
Hey.
Oh, that's real
okay.
good.
That's real nice. Okay, so it's a 16 plus 8, a 24 that
That's
time.
incredible. So it's no longer possible to move the vessel through this space, maintaining the orientation of the craft. You have to travel through it fully three-dimensionally, finding gentle whorls and little cubbies between this intense mesh. I need one more check from you.
Okay. I will take my own advantage this time. Okay. That's pretty good. Okay,
Wait.
so
Okay, go ahead.
total of 17.
Is that enough?
Let's find out. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Were you gonna
Do you have to tell me if it's enough or not?
you gonna blow something?
Yeah, I'm gonna blow it all if it's not enough.
Oh, really? Okay.
Were you going to change your roll for me? Okay.
Oh, no, it's not like that. No, I mean, you think that you have done it.
Okay.
And you have spun the ship around just so, and then in an interminable, infinite moment, you perceive the signal arriving from another point in this mesh and traveling toward a crystal that is very, very near the top.
Okay.
So what occurs at this point?
Yes.
Yeah, what do you say?
It's the end of the C team, so the camera pulls. No. You see something silent and wide, like the dome of an umbrella almost. Sail toward it. You see this through the ceiling of the dome,
Okay.
and it just closes around it.
Okay.
The signal hits the side of this umbrella and is gone.
Where's that umbrella come from?
Yeah, who did that?
Rosie's heart, from all of this, her heart is pounding. And Sorrel can probably feel her body shaking. And as soon as she sees that, she goes, "What the fuck was that?" to Sorrel right in her ear.
Sorrel, leaves you and sort of stands in the middle, directly under the point of the dome. And she says, "We are joy." And you start to feel like flush. Like flush in your face. And a little tingling in the extremities.
Okay.
Not again.
And so give me another check so that I can render the rest of this
Is this
scene.
still another dex save?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're doing exactly what you've done before.
All right, I'll take another
You want another one?
advantage.
Let me give it to
Yeah,
you. Let
wanna-
me give you one.
All right,
yeah.
thank you, Cthulhu. Okay, got the Cthulhu special again.
Oh my God.
Double Cthulhu
Double four.
special, double
Double
fours.
four.
So that's an 11, 12.
So now you've
Sorry, don't.
that
do
has caused you. Well, it's caused you to need to travel along a rift sort of between two crystals, like corkscrewing between two.
Right.
And as signals arrive from them, two soft caps reach out and close themselves around those, and then those crystals just fall away and disappear. And then as you turn the ship to escape the edge of this dark quilt, you see a massive ship, substantially greater than the library. And you've seen a ship like this before.
Oh.
You've seen a ship like this, very much like this,
Yes.
if not this ship, in your youth.
Oh. In my youth. What does it look like?
It looks like a gigantic, well, I mean, there's kids that watch the show, obviously. But there is no doubt that this is a Myconid, a starfaring Myconid vessel.
What?
But we'd remember that from our hallucination. It's just that
Exactly.
you remember it just one step further.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so a dense carpet of spores. You can see, I mean, like visually, you can see a wave of these spores just wash over the schools, the swimming fields, and they try to burst and pop. Sometimes they just sort of wiggle a little bit in space.
Yeah.
And burst, but even then the range is substantially condensed.
Can't beat those spores.
So they have thickened space considerably around here.
The whole thing is thickening.
Yeah, it's rich. But
You're watching it just spread.
Okay. So, for fear of disrupting their excellent work, I have taken my hands. The stylus is still in my hand, but I'm just kind of letting us drift.
the stylus feels like you're holding like a hot dog. Like the sense data is a mess.
Interesting. Okay. I look at it.
It's a regular sized stylus, but it feels like a very large stylus.
I immediately look to Walnut to see if she's freaking out at all.
What do I see?
Well, here, give me a wisdom check.
Do I get advantage because it's my birthday?
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
If not, you can
Oh, very good.
15.
you can do a 4 from me.
Thanks. 15 plus 9. So
You want a 4?
24.
It's just like right on the tip of your tongue,
The hot dog?
which has
Valentine's Day.
which
Happy
has
Valentine's Day.
which has thickened
Oh.
in its speech would be interesting and maybe even a little fun. But as you look around, the bridge is full of friends.
It's full of friends.
Friends. And you know they're friends.
I do.
There's no possibility.
Oh, yeah.
They can do you no harm, even if they wanted to. If they were, you know that if they were to strike you, you would sleep, and it would be a restful sleep.
I am enamored and I'm entranced by these friends, and I reach out
Try
To
pet
touch
those
them.
friends.
Do we see the friends?
Oh yes,
Oh, nice.
they're everywhere. It is thick with them. There's more friends here than there are crew members in here.
I am powerless against the friends.
I love the friends.
So the one of the friends, as you're reaching out to touch a friend, the friend also wants to touch so much.
Not a bad deal.
Yeah, there's five eyes you feel artistically placed. Something like a diadem or a crown.
And this does not freak me out.
No, it's fine. In fact, that's the best way you think that they could be configured.
We should probably all have 5 eyes.
Yes.
I wish.
Yoink, yoink, yoink. So I touch this friend, and then I see another friend.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I touch that friend.
exactly. And the touches are they're bidirectional.
Oh, they touch me too?
Right on the face.
Whoa. Where else?
Where else?
Wow.
Show me on this mushroom. And then I weep. I'm so happy.
I'm clinging to the last little remnant of fear that I felt because it is right to be afraid. That shouldn't feel peaceful and good right now. This is wrong. This is a lie.
Exactly.
But I feel very good.
You think that you may not be on the ship anymore.
Uh-oh.
In fact, you think that you're not sure about that ship. And when you think back to it, when you think about like an invisible magic ship with various, cake-like stacks, everything about that ship seems profoundly unlikely to you.
Oh, I think that's on the DM personally, but
You know what I mean? It seems,
What a dunk.
yeah,
Let's not gloss over that dunk.
it's a birthday dunk.
Thank
yeah,
you.
that B-Day dunk, that B-dunk. And in fact, you think that the ship that you're on now is superior in every way.
This is a good ship.
The new ship. And you look out a different portal, a different kind of portal that you think in fact, is an eye. But it's all right to use this eye. The eye is here for you to use. If it needs your eye, maybe you could loan it your eye in the future.
When I look down, am I a friend?
Oh yeah,
Oh, this is the best body.
yeah.
This is the ultimate form.
Oh, we are friends now.
We are friends.
We are friends, and we are joy friends. Together, finally.
I have a faint recollection that my sister was nearby, and I look for her.
Oh, she has cast off what was there, which maybe never quite suited her. You know what I mean?
So she's a friend.
Well, absolutely. And this is the other advantage, is that these minds are incalculable to the Sanguilith.
Ah.
You get the sense, no, you are deeply aware that it cannot calculate your position. It can't know these thoughts. It is not joy. That's the thing that you know more than anything else. And every friend takes a moment to recognize the state and feel something like sympathy for that which is not joy. Everyone takes a moment to feel it.
I feel it.
This body's concern is what of the lesser friends? The ship that we no longer wish to be on. How is it? Where are they?
Are they joy?
They are joy.
They are joy.
They are joy. And what's more, oh, here, you know what? I think I got something over here. Let me look at my table. All right. No, that's good. That's good.
What you
That's going to
got?
work. No, that's going to work. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change the campaign.
I may as well.
Don't say that part.
What's more? So joy is a state, and we can choose it, but it is always there. It's always available to us. We can always have it. And for a long time, years, there has been so much pain. There has been so much pain as a result of that which is not joy. And you feel incredible support, impetus, and energy toward an idea. And that idea is that we must put aside joy for a time.
What?
We must put aside joy.
But we are joy.
We must set it down and become weepers all. And then we will take our joy back up. Thanks, Josh. Gathered friends, thank you so much for coming to another episode of Test C Teams. An absolute pleasure. It has been. I appreciate your stamina for enduring the sorts of things that we get up to.
That which endures is them.
Yeah, they are them. But we're also joy. Gathered friends, we're going to go pause briefly, refresh ourselves. We're going to return renewed, ready for table talk. Maybe a little bit of celebration as well. Don't go nowhere.
Oh.